ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 on the Estancia Lapacho mod, where dawn is breaking on the second day in our farming experience. I had a good first day. I've decided to increase the time scale a little bit so the clock runs a little bit faster. I'm going to run it 5 times so we can get through days a bit quicker. When the dawn is breaking, the first thing we've got to do today is get in our lovely little Fiat that, if you remember in the last episode, I've modified the wheels of. And I have bought a weeder because, unfortunately, fields 1 and 2, pretty much along with most of the fields on the map, seem to have a weed problem. So fix that, or I'm going to try and fix that to start the day with a spot of weeding. I can put my lights on, although it doesn't really have very good lights. Right, so field 1 and 2. Fortunately, my crop seems to be level. Unfold the weeder. And I'm gonna remember today. Screenshot button. Screenshot height. Anyway, lower it. Got a pretty decent working width there. The only thing I worry about is if the weeds have grown to the point where the weeder will not weed them. And then I would have to spray them to kill them, which means I would have to invest in a liquid sprayer, which would be a bit of a expense. I know I've got a little bit of money in the pot thanks to that wonderful potato harvesting contract that made me about 70,000, but the time it took to do that job, it really should have paid a lot more. But I don't want to be spending money on too many items. I've got a solid fertilizer sprayer. That's potentially all I need for now. Hopefully this is removing the weeds. Now, we have had a patch release today for the game. We are now on version 1.1.3. I don't know, it fixes a few bits and pieces that I must admit I haven't really sort of noticed. Things to do with the multiplayer, which as of yet I have not played any multiplayer. There seems to be some issues with the multiplayer. Or at least the way it works on... I can't seem to host a dedicated server and play the game on the same machine. It also appears that if I host a dedicated server, I can't play the game, because apparently you need to have a separate license key. And although I have bought the game twice, I have the collector's edition and the Steam edition, I haven't actually installed the collector's edition. I've installed the Steam version, and that apparently doesn't run a dedicated server. But it's something I might look at. Now, I'm having I noticed some frame rate issues at night time in game, where the frame rate drops quite a bit, and I think it's to do with the vehicle lights. As soon as I turn lights off in game, the frame rate goes back to 60. Solid stable 60 FPS. But I noticed when I was doing the potato harvesting. If I had the truck lights on and the harvester lights on, it got to like, you know, 30, sometimes less frames per second. Terrible job of, I think I'm doing a terrible job of weeding this field. I think I'm missing bits, but we shall see. A good machine though. Like I say, if you can catch the weeds in the early stage, this machine's quite good. It doesn't require a huge power requirement from a tractor. So like I say, the Fiat is ideal for pulling something like this. Whereas some of the sprayers and fertilisers, obviously, they come with a horsepower requirement. Also, this is fairly cheap in the store, so again, starting out the game, it's a good thing to buy. Whereas, like I say, a liquid sprayer and the herbicide to fill it, very expensive. Incredibly expensive outlay. Hopefully we could take care of our own farm. It would be nice. Sun's coming up on our second day in Estancia. I do like this map. Some people say it's bland, but to be honest, I find it to be a lot more practical to farm on for a single player like myself than the actual FS19 maps. I just find them to be really sort of horribly laid out. The fact that they're really, really hilly and mountainous and have narrow, twisty roads, and just getting around the map is such a challenge on the FS90 maps, whereas this is just straightforward. This is simple. You can just focus on the farming, can't you? I try to line myself up with a field edge. Use like a point on the reference, because I think I mentioned this in the last episode. Although this has got kind of a good reference, because it's got that thing on the front of the bonnet, and it's got like obviously a contoured bonnet, so you can see where the middle is. However, when the farm is at this sort of growth stage, it's hard to see lanes. Frame rate's just dropping again, I notice. I have been fiddling with the XML file in the game settings to try to increase the render distance and the terrain distance a bit higher than what the game allows you to do via the actual menu. You can open up the game settings or game XML file in your My Documents folder, and you can push some of the settings beyond what the game allows in the menus, obviously at a performance hit. But if you've got a beefy system like I have, you should be able to handle pushing those settings a bit. But like I say, there's maybe something to do with the lights. Maybe I've got too many light sources or stuff like that, which is just kind of impacting on the frame rate a bit. I haven't actually checked yet in my GeForce Experience control panel to see whether this game has got any like optimized settings from NVIDIA. I haven't actually updated my driver recently. There's an update sat on my PC waiting to be installed. I just haven't got around to installing it yet because I haven't shut down or restarted my PC for a couple of days. which is often the case. My PC tends to live 24/7. But I'll get that installed, and then hopefully there might be an optimization thing, GeForce Experience, and then I can have a look to see what it recommends for like the lighting and stuff, because I think that's the thing. I think the lighting and like the individual light sources and stuff like that, and mirrors, I think those are the things that have a big impact on frame rate. Get those in the sweet spot, and then I could probably push the render distance up a bit. Not that I have too much different problems. I'm not really seeing a lot of pop-in and stuff like that. Again, it probably has more of an impact on the bigger maps, the FS19 maps, than this one. Although I do think on some of the fields, because some of the fields get quite big, you could have instances where you get stuff popping in. It looks like you feel you haven't got any crops. Your field looks empty, and then all of a sudden the crops appear as you start driving across it, because this is like a big field. This is a pretty big field 2, and I've got a feeling, like you say, some people might notice as they're driving along the crops appearing in front of them. I don't have that problem. I'm starting to have a bit of a worrying thought though, that the weeder isn't working. I've got a sneaky feeling the weeder isn't removing the weeds. No, it's not. Oh, this is a problem in the game. Why the weeder doesn't remove stage 1 weeds when your crops have grown, I don't know. But apparently, if your crops grow past stage 1, you can't weed with it. People have probably been screaming at the video up till now, telling me that I'm wasting my time. Weeds, weeds, weeds. Oh, happy days. I'm gonna have to go lease a sprayer, aren't I? Oh, not good. Drive to the shop, lease a sprayer, and come back, because I don't really want weeds. I would have thought this would remove them at that initial stage, because at that stage, like, if the weeds are at that point, it should remove them. They're only little. I mean, obviously when they turn into like the bushes with like the colourful leaves on them and everything, then they're too big for the weeder, but they should definitely do it. I was under the impression. Park you there, detach. Let's go to the store quick and see if we've got a spreader. I'm only going to lease it. I'm not going to buy a spreader. I know I've got 287,000 in the bank, but I was kind of hoping not to spend a lot of money on equipment in this early stage of the Let's Play, because I really wanted to get some fields first and get some ground, you know, some dirt. Play the property game. Of course. At least I'd have to buy herbicide, but what I don't use I can save. I can store it for a later time, and then obviously return the sprayer once I finish using it. And I probably should have come in a slightly faster tractor. Because 15 miles an hour is a bit on the slow side. So actually, my big plan to keep this tractor... Are you overtaking me? Alright then, you go. I'm going to do the sensible thing and pull off out of the way. Which is what real tractor drivers should do on the road. But many don't. They like to just cause massive tailbacks. Especially in Lincolnshire where I live, it's a massive problem because obviously Lincolnshire is a big farming part of the UK. Big farming area because we have lots of good flat land and a decent water table. So we do a lot of agriculture in Lincolnshire. Right, I want a sprayer, please, sir. Crop protection. 1300 litres, is that going to be enough? 36 metres, that's a bit bigger. How much is it to lease? 6,200. 21 metres. I'll take the Kun, please. Right, and then we're going to need a pallet of herbicide. That's 2,000 litres. And my brain, being rubbish, has already forgotten that's 4,380. So I'm going to need 2 of those. I'm not going to buy extra because I can't fill it. And therefore, let me out of your store. Slightly overcooked it, no problem. Can we start filling? Yes, we can. $2,000 litres going in. I've got to get a bit closer to the next one. The only problem with these pallets are not the handiest things in the world to refill. $4,000 litres should be enough though, I'm hoping. I hope I don't need any more than that. To get rid of our weed problem. See, I think if I maybe perhaps weeded last night in game, before I obviously slept in the house, we may have got all the weeds taken care of. But I think the crop stage has advanced too far now. Probably could have weeded when I did the second level of fertilising as well. That may have been a better option for me. Hey, I do this thing dwarfs this tractor. I think this tractor's a bit small. Yeah. Liquid spray on. Kun Metris 4102. got the same wheels as my tractor though. That's quite cool. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a good thing. I'm pleased I leased this because I'll be quite honest, 4,000 litre tank, it's a bit small for a sprayer. I would like 20,000 litres minimum on a sprayer, so I can do a fair few fields before I have to refill it. Because I don't want to have to buy one of those herbicide silos. Like I've got fertiliser and seed there. I'm thinking this time I'm going to go lengthways. Because rather than shunting about at the edge of each field, I can pretty much just drive straight across both fields, can't I? Really ought to try and make use of the working width of the equipment. Oh, and the same problems with this as I have with trailers. I'm not very good at reversing. Right, unfold. I love the unfolding animations on sprayers. Boom! Look at that thing. Wow. That's big. And we can just turn it on. Okay, well it's time to do a bit of speedy uppy time-lapsey stuff again, because obviously this is going to take a little bit of time to spray these two fields, although the working width on this sprayer is quite big. You know, 36 metres is good coverage. I don't have to worry about missing too many bits, and I should have enough spray in the tank to do both fields. I don't think I'm going to run out. In fact, I'll probably have a good bit left over, which I'll be able to store and keep on my farm. And the good thing is, looking at the map, we are killing the weeds. So, yes, perhaps instead of buying the weeder, I should have invested in a sprayer. I may have to sell the weeder and buy a sprayer, because there aren't going to be many occasions where I have a field that hasn't got something planted on it. You know, where I'm just going to have weeds running rampant, you know, it's not going to happen. So for me, being able to kill the weeds off when I have crops growing is going to be more important to me. So a sprayer is probably going to be something I have to invest in. But that's going to be for down the line. Going to get this done, maximise our yield, which would be great, because we don't want the 15% penalty for having weeds, which is a bit surprising really with the AI farmers, because they let weeds run rampant all over their crops, and I don't know why they don't do something about the weeds, why they don't offer contracts to do weeding, because, you know, that would be good, that would be a good incentive. I could do that alongside fertilising jobs and make a good bit of money. Certainly, hopefully, we'll get these two fields done. It shouldn't take too long. It certainly takes a lot less now of time-lapse, the footage. I was going to hire a worker to actually do this job, but then I realised they can't drive across two fields like I can. So it's just as easy for me to do it. And like I say, I've got more than enough fertiliser, I think. I'm not even going to use one pallet, I don't believe. So it's not too bad. It's alright. And there we go, pretty much last breed, I do believe. And we'll have fertilised both fields. Happy days. Weeds no more. Banish them from my farm. Get gone, weeds. I hate you. There we go. That should be it. Job done. Oh, no. Missed a bit. Missed a bit. I'll have to go back and do a bit more. There we go. Hopefully this will do it. A little bit more. Job done. There we go. So yes, we did. We did break into that second pallet, unfortunately. But that's not too bad, because that just means that when I unload this in a second, I'm only going to have the one pallet thrown on the floor. And not several. Right, and I will probably dump it somewhere down here next to the fill stations. That way I'll know where to find it when I need it in the future. Put it there. Unload it. One pallet. Right. And obviously we're going to be good boys. We're going to take this back to the store and return it. Not ours. It's a loan. And I don't want to spend too much money by having it rented for longer than I need to. I think these cars will be faster than me, but only just. Good bit of kit, that machine. But the other one is also pretty decent. I just don't know if you can get a front tank for it, that's the thing, to expand the capacity, because the capacity seems a bit small. So, what was it, 4,390, which seems like an oddball figure. Why didn't they just make it 6,000? It takes 3 pallets to fill it, you know? That would have been sensible. But for a machine with a 36 metre working width, or whatever it was, tank is really small. Which is weird, because on the actual sprayer machines, the actual standalone driving sprayers, they have big tanks, but they have such small working widths. Seems a bit backwards. Right, I will be a good person as well and back this into your little storage area. Right, if I want to go that way, I have to remember how's about that? But hey, bringing it back. Right, let's return that. Do 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 do. Look at me doing it all law friendly in game. Let's return that then. I miss it already. We have got a tank for a ton, which gives us an extra 1,500. So you could buy that and that, which would give you, what, 5,880 litres? Or you could buy that, which is 2,200, and that, which is 6,000. which gives you 8,200 litres. None of these do herbicide. Of course, you have got that, which can do solid fertiliser, liquid fertiliser and herbicide. Or that's got 9,000. And it does a working width of 48.5. Look at it. 489,000. It's going to be a long while before I'm buying one of those. Right. So how are we doing then? We're not quite... Didn't quite get full fertilisation on there. Did we? How much are some of these fields, by the way? We haven't looked at that. That's 218,000. I could buy that. No, yeah, I could. That's a little bit cheaper. 189,000. That's the one just right of the main entranceway into the field. That's out of my price bracket, as are most of these. Oh, that one's not. Field number 8, just up from field 1. Nice lengthways field. Keep growing. Barley. I like being able to move the map. He's growing sunflowers. He's growing canola, obviously cotton, barley, oats. That field's been ploughed. Wheat. Obviously I've got canola and soybeans. We're dealing with it at the minute. Right, back to the farm. The weeds are done. But we are going to need lime, aren't we? That's a problem. Well, it's not really, because there is a lime station. There's a lime station not far away from the field, actually. I can take you and show you that, actually, thinking about it. I will get the fertilizer spreader. I will empty it. Go get some lime. Ready to do our fields after we've harvested. Because I don't think for 1 minute our liming now will have any effect. It's best to lime it and then obviously cultivate it into the soil. Ideally you want to plough the field, lime it, cultivate, seed, fertilise, and then when your seeds grow, it's that first stage, fertilise again, and then obviously deal with the weeds when they pop up and you'll get your 100% yield. Park the Fiat back over here somewhere. It's a bit, I must admit it is a bit slow, but it's so it's kind of unique, a unique little tractor in the game. All the others it looks a bit old school, a bit retro. This looks like a bit of an old school retro tractor. It's not really of this time. Whereas all the other tractors, I mean, like that obviously looks pretty sort of modern day-ish. And the case, where's the case? Where's my case? That here. That's pretty much what everyone typically sees a tractor as. What have we got small tractor wise? So we've got Fiat. That's actually got more horsepower than the Valtra. That's surprising. Then the Stara. I mean, that's an old, looks like an old school tractor. T5, Lintrack, Massey Ferguson, Armatrack, Fendt, Ace XL. That's Giants mod. There's another old school tractor, the Agro Star. Fendt 300 by Stevie. Another old school mod from Giants. Old school tractor. 90 horsepower on that one. That one's going to be slow. Couple of that's a new one. That's the one that come out. This is the one that come out today. That I downloaded just before I started playing. New Holland 8340. A little bit faster than the yeah, that's one I've got. And then obviously medium-sized tractors. I've got a Fendt, haven't I? Which one have I got? One of these? Fendt by Stevie. I must have one of the small Fendts. I got a large Fendt. It's not a large Fendt, is it? I have the 900 by Stevie. That's the one I'm using. And he's done a fast track as well. And then obviously we got, was it a new trailer today from the Giants? That one, the AS298, that's the one that come out today. So that's fairly new. A 48,000 litre truck trailer, semi-trailer. Right. Let's go. Need to empty this of fertilizer. Which I will do over here. Can I not unload it? Why won't you let me unload? That's weird. Okay, that's a problem then. I wonder if Stevie knows about that. I can't unload Gradle. No. So that's a problem. That could mean then I have to buy another one to do my lime spreading. It's a bit of a pain in the backside. Make it lime. Not sure if I want the... That's got decent capacity anyway. Let me make it black. Black would be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe white. White rims. It's a shame it's got the yellow covers on it. I don't really want to spend 56,000 on another spreader when I've already got one. I would sooner just be able to empty the one I've got. The things they're sent to tryers. We'll have to have a look. See if there's a way to fix that. But the good news is our crops are growing. The weeds are dead. Be ready to harvest soon in the next video. So for now, I was going to end the episode, but let's have a quick look at contracts. What we got? Anything good money? Field 6 wants cotton harvesting. No, that takes forever. Soybeans in field 29. Your own equipment, I could do. Could use my combine, which would save me 2,417. Want sowing on field 33. Sow field 3 with potatoes. 37,000. I'm curious to know now. And this too. I can sow potatoes with this. Oh, you know what? The 37,000. I will do it. I will do potato sowing. Because it's not far away. Literally, it's here. This is field 3. Right, unfold the sower. Turn on the sower. Lower the sower. Let's go. What? I can't use a ridge marker? That seems a bit counterintuitive. Wasn't it? Okay, so it's time for another time-lapse speedy up bit as I sow this field and complete the contract, although I did miss a little bit of his field there. It does seem a bit strange that you can't use ridge markers to do contract work for sowing and seeding. That does seem a bit of a pain, especially as there's no way in game to really, like I say, ensure you're doing, you know, straight lines. The ridge markers would be very useful when doing sowing missions and seeding missions to make sure you're getting 100% coverage of a field without constantly driving over yourself where you've been. But that seems weird. There are some very weird things. I mean, obviously they do some things in contracts to benefit players, like disabling crop destruction during contracts so you don't wreck other farmers' fields and crops. But at the same time, not being able to use ridge markers and stuff seems a bit of a handicap to the player. But yeah, I feel this was a good contract though. 34 grand to seed this field, which is like right on my doorstep. However, it does come with a slight drawback, of course, because now this guy's planted potatoes, or this guy is planting potatoes. I'm not going to want to buy his field, because I don't want to harvest potatoes, because I've just done a harvest mission, and I know how long that takes, and I know how expensive that equipment is, so I will not be buying this field until he's growing something else, until he starts growing some different types of crop. Root crops are not for me at this stage in the game. Potatoes, sugar beet, sugar cane, all that sort of stuff, no. It's a bit too advanced. The equipment requires a lot of money, and it's such a slow process harvesting them that it doesn't make great viewing. I mean, that hot potato harvesting contract I did yesterday, that took like 4 real life hours for me to do. 4 real life hours. I mean, that's the sort of thing you'd do on a stream, and even then I think people would probably get bored. There must be quicker ways of harvesting root crops. I don't know. Oh, that's something I'll have to look into. I mean, you can supposedly do it with tractors. You can buy headers, attachers, like, you know, for tractors, can't you, that can do harvesting of potatoes and stuff. I don't know whether that's any quicker than doing it with the actual potato machine, but I'm not sure. Something to look at, consider maybe. But we will be completing this contract. I will have to very briefly stop and buy some more seed though, because I'm going to run out looking at that. Hopefully I can get to the end of this row, and then I'll have to go and refill the machine. It shouldn't cost me too much. It shouldn't offset the cost of the mission any. I should still make a good profit from the end of it. So let's see how we go. Right, I need some seed to finish this field off. Let's go get some. Right next to the refill. Open the cover. Seriously? Not gonna let me refill my cedar? Wow, you've got to be so close to it. Stop getting stuck. This is going to be a nightmare. You know what? It'll be just as easy just to fold it up. And then unfold it when we get back to the field. Right, we want to be, I think, heading in that direction. So unfold the sower. And let's boogie. Listen, so we're gonna sow potatoes for the man. Oh, struggling a little bit uphill. Bit of a struggle on. I'm worried about that straw pile, I really am. And look, that cultivator's just made short mincemeat of it. Which it has. Excellent. Should have this done fairly quickly. Be another nice little job. Put a few more pennies in the old pocket. Through the bushes. Doing a great job. Just starts to slow down on this hill, look. Just starts to struggle a bit. not quite got the pulling power. I think this sower has practically the same horsepower requirement as the tractor. I've got no wiggle room. Tractor's only just got enough grunt to pull it. Game. Been around. There we go. Bind up. Follow pretty much this row down. That one on the outside of my mud flat. Not muck about. Anything you can use as a visual reference is good. Oh. Helps you obviously to mow in straight lines, sow in straight lines, do any kind of work in straight lines. Downhill we are flying in this thing. Two passes is all it's going to require. We're done. Up and down. He might tell me to go back and finish off that bit I missed. That's the only downside. But I forgot to lower the cultivator. My bad. I noticed the fertilizer and seed numbers weren't decreasing. That sounds a bit more promising. That actually sounds like it's engaged, and it has this time. Should have known by the speed at which I flew up this hill that it wasn't sowing. That would have been another big clue for me, wouldn't it? Contract on field 3 is finished. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We can, of course, end the job there. We don't have to do it, finish the field off. But for argument's sake, I think I will do. And then at least I can say I've done the job sort of properly. I know some people, they just like beat the job as soon as that thing flashes up, even if they've got a lot of the field to finish. But I think that comes from the mindset of FS17, where you was just trying to complete that pie chart. You never had to like actually complete the field, do the work. You was just racing against the clock to get a certain percentage done, weren't you? Sort of go a little bit past the edge of the field because of how that sows. Right, that should be complete. 37,403. And that takes us to 309,000 in-game cash. Excellent stuff. Right, well I think that's a good place as any then to leave this episode off. We've done the weeding. We've found an issue with our fertiliser that needs to be fixed. And we've just done a nice contract for sowing, which has made us a nice little bit of money. So thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you are, please remember to hit that like button on the videos. And please leave any comments, suggestions, feedback, criticism, whatever, in the comment section down below. And if you've not already done so, remember to smash that subscribe button. It really helps me out and my channel. And I will bring you back again very soon, bringing you some more Farming Simulator 19 content here on the Estancia Lapacho map. So for now, goodbye.